former employee, was one of the big land-grant universities, earliest ever, Auburn University. And also in Alabama, we have Tuskegee University and Alabama A&M. So thank you for your hard work and looking out for our land-grant universities. Farm Bill is very, very important to my state and really all the states and for all the people who live in this country. I'm real concerned about our family farms, as Senator Booker was talking about earlier. It's important we understand what they go through and the problems that they're having. You know, the average U.S. farmer is 58 years old. We have very few young people getting into it. And why would they do it when they can't make any money doing it? And we've got problems from fuel prices and the EPA looking over their shoulder and making it tougher every day. And things getting tougher, you know, doing away with fossil fuels. There's so much unknown that our farmers are getting ready to face. One thing I want to ask you about is the research. What are we doing through your department, through the ownership of our land to foreign countries? China, for instance, in the last 12 years has gone from 10,000 acres to 360,000 acres of farmland in our country that they're purchasing. I can understand why a lot of our farmers are selling out. In the South, we're selling out. Some of our farmers are selling out because of people moving to the South. You know, housing areas, home building, all those things, and they can make money doing it. But we have to save our family farms. But for some reason, we're selling more and more land to foreign entities. Are we doing any research into that?
That's a good question, sir. And I would love to follow up with the Economic Research Service and Office of the Chief Economist to determine if we do have some research in that space. I will share with you that we're doing everything in our power to be able to help those farmers and producers be successful on their land.
Right.
And so that's been a huge focus area for us in the research areas. We talked about the Beginning Farm and Rancher Development Program. You know, a large portion of our military come from rural communities. A number of them come back to the country and they're interested in farming and returning to the land. How do we help those people integrate back into the land, and what services can we provide to help them be successful? Investments in rural communities. How can we create communities where people want to live, where they can educate their children, where they can make a living? The Economic Research Service has shared with us that over 85% of farmers don't make their primary living on the farm. And so I can't imagine that, you know, we have a lot of work to do in this space to help those producers be economically viable.
Yeah, I know being an ag school at Auburn, we have a lot of interest in it, but we have interest in more things like vet school and things like that, other than actually getting into the farming business. And we have to do something about it. We're not going to need a farm bill if we don't. Again, we have foreign entities coming in. Bill Gates is the largest farmland owner in the country, hundreds of thousands of acres. He owns most of the warehousing seeds in the country. And for one person to do that, there's got to be some kind of reason, you know, for that happening. So I just hope that we would keep our farmers in our prayers, because some of my best friends are in farming and they're just about to get out of it. If we don't come up with some answers for the cost and the availability of being able to do things easier, finding people to work on our farms, which right now is just, it's tough. I know people that own dealerships in terms of selling farm equipment. The supply chain is bad and getting worse. So you got your hands full, and we're going to have our hands full putting this farm bill together to make sure our farmers are able to make it through the next few years, because I think the next few years are going to be telling of where our farmers go and where our farming ends up, whether it's going to be foreign land or whether it's going to be domestic farmers. So thanks for your help. Thanks for your work.
So I just want to quickly share, this is where innovation comes in. We have to be able to automate some of the processes. We have to do things like mechanical harvesting. We have to be able to reduce the inputs by finding alternatives. We just recently broke ground on a brand new facility on Auburn University campus for for the ARS scientists. We're just very excited about some of the headway we're making in this space. We know how important research is to the region, and so we're just happy to be in partnership with Auburn and look forward to working with you.
Well, thank you. And the one thing that I'm very concerned about in that area of innovation is our farmers are wondering about the equipment they're going to be using. It's going to be EV equipment. We're going to be, right now they burn diesel, they burn gas, and in the future is going to be, everything's up in the air. The cost is going to even get higher, and we can't have our costs going up for our farmers. Their margins are very small as they are. So we have a lot of decisions to make for our family farms. Corporations will make it, but the family farms aren't going to make it unless we go out on a limb for them in the future to make it easier and more profitable for them. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. A lot of important, serious issues for us coming together to support farmers and ranchers and families. Senator Brown.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and Madam Secretary, nice to see you. I concur with my friend from Alabama. I though, would amend that the threat of foreign land ownership is real. The threat of consolidation and corporate ownership is every bit as real or greater. What's happened to farms in Ohio and Alabama and Indiana and Nebraska and Michigan and Arkansas. So I think we all know